and welcome to the Tech Strong AI podcast. I'm Amanda Razani, and I'm excited to be here today with Ganesh Shankar. He is the co-founder and CEO of Responsive. How are you doing today?
Hi, Amanda. First of all, thank you for having me on your show. Super excited to be part of your podcast. So pretty good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Doing well. It's a lovely day today, so doing well. Can you share a little bit about Responsive to our audience? What do you do, and then maybe some of your background?
Yeah, Responsive is the leader in strategic response management, a space where we help a lot of our customers in automating, strategic responses that they provide to their external stakeholders by means of RFPs, RFIs, security questionnaires, due diligence questionnaires, so many things companies respond while closing a deal or trying to get some investment, or trying to get grant. That's where we come into play. We help our customers to respond to such kind of questionnaires in a more effective way and in a compliant way also. About myself, prior to starting Responsive, I was a product manager working for an enterprise software company. Part of that is helping sales teams respond to RFPs. That kind of morphed into a startup idea. Here we are, Responsive 8 years later.
Wonderful. Well, that's a good segue into our discussion today, which is how large enterprises, including some of the top Fortune 100s, are leaning on AI to drive faster and better responses, deliver higher return on investment and revenue. And so y'all recently put out a strategic response management report. Can you share a little bit about this report? What was it focused on? Who was surveyed? And then maybe some statistics?
Yeah. So what we mean by strategic response management is, it goes beyond just responding to RFP. So it allows our customers to speak a unified voice across the board, where when they've been asked with a set of questions from external stakeholders, that could be your investors or that could be your clients or prospective customers, they're asking for information. When the companies wanted to share the most up-to-date information, which are compliant and as well as which allows them to win deals, that information is what we preserve in our platform, our Responsive AI-enabled platform. Specifically about this report, this is our second annual report, Amanda. What we did is we kind of surveyed, a lot of companies who are either already using technologies like Responsive, fully adopted, or in the process of adopting it, or they've got it, still not gone to that, or even sometimes people who have not even, start thinking about a platform like this. We, in fact, just a little bit of a clientele we have almost 2,000 plus customers. That includes 25 plus Fortune 100 customers of Responsive. What interesting outcome that we got from this report is nearly 50% of a lot of these companies' revenues are tied to RFPs, bids, tenders and proposals. There are different names to these kind, but it was astonishingly a bigger number. It is not a small percentage. It's almost half of that. Their business or revenue is tied to these kind of answer to these proposals and RFPs. What that translated to it is 70% of that, increase in direct revenue is coming from these strategic responses. The more you respond, it is actually more, it is tying to the more revenue that you're generating. It's another finding that we came to know. Also, a lot of our customers have said almost 77% of our responders to the survey said their volume of how they responded to the previous year, that is 2023, or part of 2022 and partly into 2023, compared to 2023 to 2024, is gone up significantly compared to what they have done in the past. And even more, the thing is, the companies are expecting these teams to do more with less. They're expecting more revenue and more, workload, but with less people and, or less time in spending. So they are looking for technologies that can automate this, right? What that translates into is, if you're, especially when you're operating with, lower bandwidth, and if you don't have a technology, what the survey says is almost 64% of the respondents said there is a high risk of misinformation going out the door if we don't communicate properly, if you don't have a unified voice, when everybody is spinning up their own piece of content, that puts the business at risk. It creates a liability for the business. So, almost 64% of the people said that is going to be the case, which is what brings to my last point, that tells me what another important finding is almost a whooping 89 to 90% of the respondents said they are evaluating, or either they are already in the process of adopting or evaluating AI, to bring in AI into the mix of how to do more with less. Again, it's not a replacement. I want to say this is not a replacement for human beings. It is truly augmenting what humans can do. That's how we see, and that's how our customers are, seeing, because they see these are higher revenue growth is expected, and and it is strongly, evident from the report. Customers are looking for AI-powered SRM platforms like Responsive. I know there's a lot of stats. Hopefully that gives you some color.
Yes, absolutely. It makes sense that they're looking at technologies to make up for having a lesser staff. So when it comes to AI, we know everyone's trying to harness AI in one way or another. What are some of the top solutions for AI, and how do people start implementing AI?
There's quite a few of AI revolutions happening. This is, we'll say this, Amanda, this is something not new for our generation. When I say not new, we have seen this similar style come in, I would say back in 2000s, when very similar is the mobile technology from people who started using mobile, I'll say mobile revolution. And in the later 2000s, we also saw cloud revolution, companies moving from on-prem solutions to cloud revolution. I think this is the AI revolution. But the difference here is this is coming much, much faster pace than the other two, at least in my generation. I've seen the mobile revolution and the cloud revolution. It was a little bit slower than it. Definitely at that time, it was fast, but compared to AI, it was nothing fast as this AI revolution that we're going through. But however, I do think what is going on right now is finalizing the foundational element. Like if you look at the foundation like OpenAI, even Google, Microsoft, these giant companies are in the process of formulating this foundation, right? I would say, what Responsive is a layer on top of the foundation, which I call it as an application layer. We are an application, of leveraging the foundation. So there's going to be a lot more, applications that are going to be stemming out of this foundational layer. But right now, I would say the market is argumenting for the foundational layer, or somebody's going to prevail. If you look at how technology, there are a lot of mobile technologies back then. Say if I have to name a few, right? iOS came out of that. Android came out of that. Later in the cloud evolution, AWS, Google, and Microsoft Azure, and now Oracle is also joining. And we are seeing that trend. I believe it is going to be the case with the AI also, where we will find who's the foundational layer in the coming months and years. And then you will see a lot more applications are going to be evolving. And the good news is responsive has always been in the forefront of adopting these newer technologies. So I'm super bullish about how responsive is going to leverage these foundational layer. So in the future is looking super bullish for us, especially where we are going to help our customers augment their response process and help them win more businesses. So yeah, I'm looking forward for many more applications. Yeah, that's the state we are in.
When you're working with these company teams, do you have any specific use cases or journeys that you can share where they implemented these different technologies, including AI, and the outcome, the return on investment, or anything that you could share like that?
Absolutely. So if you look at it, right, and I think a lot of companies are under tremendous pressure to, either integrate AI in their product, in their story, whereas, I feel fortunate where Responsive has embraced AI even from the very beginning. But at that time, it was not generative AI. It is more of machine learning, pattern matching. This is ChatGPT era or, the OpenAI era. So when we saw this opportunity, when we saw this, LLM models, coming into the market and mainstream, we saw a huge opportunity, Amanda. So what do I mean by that is, so in a simple word, right? In other words, when you try to respond to a set of questions, what our technology prior to LLM did is it kind of pattern matched and provided you the best possible answer for those kind of questions so that you don't need to, sit and think and do, because it's that content is already there somewhere. With the AI, what we have done is we have layered, on top of our proprietary engine, this LLM has been layered. So now our customers can say, okay, this is the answer, which is amazing, which is good, which is a good fit, but looks passive tone. We want to make it in an active tone. I want to elaborate it. We want to make it grammatically correct. We want to make it emphasis on certain, technologies, or we want to make emphasis on certain strategies that we use. We have leveraged AI to help them strengthen their responses even, ever before. They are now going stronger with the right message. But fundamentally, the content is not hallucinating. The AI is not. That is where we are very careful about not let the AI to hallucinate. Rather, leverage your enterprise knowledge and use the AI to fine-tune it or finesse it so that you are communicating with the right tone, with the proper messaging that you wanted to communicate. So, a lot of our customers who have leveraged are leveraging our AI, especially, for example, right, one of our customers, they said it used to be, prior to implementing the response, it used to be, for each question, it used to be taking about 20 minutes for them to answer. With our prior AI, they were able to do it in 12 minutes. That is almost 40% saving. With AI now, I think they are looking at about 6 to 7 minutes of answer. So you can imagine no solution was 20 minutes. With machine learning prior to it was 12 minutes. Now we're looking at about 6 to 7 minutes per question. These questionnaires can have anywhere between 200 to 300, sometimes even thousands of questions that come and hit our customers. You can imagine how much automation, how much time. More importantly, what we are realizing, Amanda, is not just the time saving. Time saving, especially the technologies that we have, I think it is expected. What are we doing with the time saving is more important. Now our customers are saying they are now responding to more RFPs, more proposals than ever before, which means they are approaching more opportunities that they were passing on before because they didn't have the bandwidth. Now they're saying, I'm trying to be on a deal that used to be, I wasn't part of it before because we didn't have the bandwidth. Now I'm actually being part of it. That even if you look at our prior, report, last year's report, it is very evident, that people who have adopted, they respond to 16% higher, RFPs that they other compared to their peers. That 16% translated to almost 35% of revenue, that dollar income for them, which means they're adding 35% more revenue compared to what they were not doing before. So that is what, you can talk about ROI. It's not just about time saving. It is the opportunity that I'm part of a new deal. part of a new opportunity is exciting. And that is the revenue impact that Responsive is making to our customers.
Significant positive impacts in many areas.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So if there was one key takeaway you could leave for business leaders, what would that be?
See, most important right now, everybody is, in a way, good and bad. Positively, AI is giving a lot of efficiency, creating a lot of opportunity. Also, it's creating a lot of noise. Get a lot of noise and, a lot of distractions. Each business leaders have business to run. It is very difficult for them to evaluate on, because I'm seeing technologies coming up every single day. It is a distraction somewhat. It is first thing is for the leaders, especially even for us at Responsive, we did this exercise. We want to understand what are we trying to accomplish as a business goal and align our business goals to the technologies that we want to evaluate. And then instead of starting from scratch, sometimes it is okay to go to your existing, partners or vendors and evaluate, see what are they in their roadmap. These are technologies that are getting mature. Instead of there's always going to be a new shiny object in the market. It is important. Should we evaluate or should we look into our existing opportunities that we already have to see if the roadmap is there, or with the maturity there? Can we be part of that process? Can we influence your partners to roadmap? So that is the step number one, because otherwise it's going to be a lot of distraction, a lot of noise in the market. So the most important thing I would say is to, find, what is your business objective and align to that, because there's going to be so much of new shiny objects in the market. So, the most important thing is not to get distracted.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes AI might not be the best tool to solve the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show and sharing your insights with us today.
Absolutely, Amanda. Thanks for having me. Super excited to listen in to your progress once we go live. So hopefully it helps your audience in a good way. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, most definitely. And thank you to our audience for staying tuned. And there's more coming up.